Hi friends, I made this for and welcome to my new studio space. We are settling in Old Lansdowne. That's where we're at now. It's a lovely Saturday. I have all of my tarot decks in one place now, and that's pretty fucking sweet in my new studio. But today, of course, I want to pull out the classic Smith-Waite tarot deck, Centennial Edition. Because this weekend is the full moon in Aries. I know I haven't been doing any deep dives recently into the full moons, or at least the signs, like I usually do, and I'll get back to that soon. I kind of have a lot going on. Still unpacking. As soon as I am done with this video, I'm going back to it. But yeah. Let's just dive in, right? Let's just get into it. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Is this full moon kind of like getting you anxious? Are you inspired? I think the full moon in Aries, we're kind of at this place where in October we go from Libra to Scorpio. So there's this shift to spooky season, and that shift with Scorpio can be really potent. We get really into the waters of fall, which I love. But with Libra and Aries, it's such heavy cardinal energy. So as a cardinal heavy person myself, cardinal energy, this feels, even though it's very much not the elements that show up majority in my chart, it still feels really good to me this year. Sometimes this feels like a very disconnected sort of lunation, just because I don't really resonate with it. Oh, I just got an alert on my phone. The moon has moved into Aries. So, perfect time to pull that. The moon being in Aries is a super, I think, inspiring, fiery time. You might feel a little bit more spacey today, perhaps, maybe not, who knows. But this is a good moon to do some magic before eclipse season. Eclipse season, as always, just let it be, let it do its thing. But with Aries, we are stepping out into our own. We're embracing our fires, our creative energy, our go, 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 and balancing that with the sun that's in Libra, and also a very go, go, go sign to me, but in a very different way, more with ease and flow, and kind of like, okay, maybe we do this and we do that, and what feels good, let's follow that. Whereas Aries is very instinctual, but it's like fucking go energy. So that's the difference. Let's start with a classic. What are we illuminating with this full moon? What are we illuminating with this full moon? Okay. Three of Swords. So what might be illuminating here, and of course, as always, friends, make sure to remember that this is a general statement. This is not geared towards anyone particular. So use as you choose the information I share. Thank you. Three of Swords is often considered the heartbreak card. And yes, and it is that, but it is also, how does that heartbreak kind of influence us moving forward? So it doesn't necessarily have to represent that you're going through heartbreak and that's being illuminated, but rather, and I kind of lean in this way, how has heartbreak kind of shown up in your life? How has that influenced the choices that you make? How has that changed how you do things or why you believe a certain way? Heartbreak can come in many different forms. It's not necessarily always romantic partners that break our hearts. Sometimes it's good friends that we love. Sometimes it's family that didn't show up for us in the way we felt we needed it. Our heart gets heavy from so many things. A job that was not successful or good for us. A home that we wanted to create that just didn't end up being possible. There are so many things in here that can really just dampen our drive, right? And so what might be illuminated is how our past heartbreaks have really influenced the way our mind works. Again, thinking about the swords as our mental process, how we understand information, how we gather information, how we process information, the mind. So how have these things that have happened to us influenced us in either positive or negative ways? How has it kind of rewired our brain? If you've ever read any of the book, The Body Keeps the Score, that's a great book that I think really helps us understand where some of this is coming from. So something to keep in mind is, again, this could represent that what's being illuminated is that your heart is broken and that you need to like move on. I just don't see it. I see it as what will be illuminated is how have we shifted due to our experiences. That's super valid. I will say it a million times, your experience and how you work through those experiences is always valid. You cannot sit here and tell me, oh, well, it was just this, it wasn't a big deal. Everything affects us, baby bird. And that's okay. It's gonna affect us. And how can we allow it to influence us without shutting us down? So a thing that might be illuminated for this full moon for you or anyone watching this, pay attention. How has your past influenced the decision making that you make now? Because Aries is very much about the energy, the passion, the drive of the self. So what has changed about what has changed your thought process? What has changed how you view the world or how you move through it or how you view yourself in the world? With Aries being very tied to identity, how has this shaped who you are in positive or negative ways? And how can you utilize that with awareness? So, next question. How can we utilize this with awareness? How can we utilize this with awareness? How can we utilize this with awareness? The Hanged One. No, there it is. The Hanged One. Releasing control is a really big part of it all. We can bring awareness to it. We can mourn it. But we cannot ruminate over it. We cannot fixate on it because the truth is we don't have control over what has already happened. And making peace with that is really like the big stepping stone, I think, to this illumination with this. Okay, we have awareness of it. We can release control over the circumstances, the situation, because it's not gonna stop it. It's not gonna change our circumstances, right? It might be the most shitty thing in the whole world to have to come to terms with, but the truth is we will not be able to shake it. We won't be able to stop it. It's gonna just be what it's gonna be. And that's not a bad thing. We have to kind of sometimes separate the idea that control is power, we also have to release that it can be difficult and it's not easy. It's not easy to release what has happened and how it still affects us. But recognizing that where we were at when those things happened is what we needed, where we were, not even what we needed. Because sometimes I feel like that language turns things into everything happens for a reason. And if it was truly some horrific shit, that would be really fucked up of me to say. So I'm not going to say that. What I am going to say is you don't have to ruminate over things that might have happened to you that were outside of your control, or decisions that were made that in hindsight, I shouldn't have done that. Shit fucking happens. And it doesn't have to mean anything unless you give it meaning, but it also just doesn't have to have meaning for you to move on. We can recognize that our heart is broken. We can recognize that shit has fucked us up and it has shifted how our brain works, while still saying, you know what, and I can still do the work. I can go to therapy. I can do journaling. I can do all the things that help me without like ruminating on like, well, what did I do and why did I? Like, no. Not everything has to be like for some deeper, higher purpose. I know that that's like a really fucking weird thing to hear from like a spiritual person, but I'm tired of people like sugarcoating things as like, it happened to you to help you grow. Like that's really fucked up to say to someone who's been through trauma fucking nightmare shit, right? Like I'm not going to say that to someone who lost a family member. I'm not going to say that to someone who was in a super abusive relationship, because like, then it almost blames the person. But anyway, the point is we can release that control and let it be what it is and say, you know what, this shitty thing happened to me and I can't undo the shitty thing that happened to me, but I can find peace within myself. So if that means finding meaning, great. Just know you don't have to. This is very Aries energy coming from me. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to make peace with anything. It will help to release your hold on the past. It will help to release the past hold on you and acknowledge and hold space for it without like ruminating on it. But ultimately, this is very Neptunian energy. And so this is saying like really like work with where you are and not focus on where you were and where you want to be. You are the hanged one. Whatever that means to you. Focus on the now and how to process where you are at right now. Last card. Sorry, this is such an intense reading. Last card. What fires are we nurturing? With all of that information, what fires are we nurturing under this full moon as we enter eclipse season? Because it's coming, baby. What fires are we nurturing as we enter eclipse season? What fires are we nurturing as we enter eclipse season? All right. The moon. I've talked about the moon a whole lot on this channel. The moon is really about connecting to our subconscious. So that makes a lot of sense, how our brain is rewired, releasing control or ruminating thoughts over the past or where we want to be. And focusing on the present allows us to really tap into our subconscious, to work with our innate gifts. When I say innate gifts, I'm not saying like you're going to become psychic. Like if that's true for you, great. But let's not just say that's for everyone. Because a lot of it to me, when I see the moon, it's all about connecting with your instincts, your animal self, your ability to sense what is important for you, your ability to suss out the bullshit, right? When it comes to the moon, I often see a lot of people kind of talk about like, oh, we're like going into our mysticism, our ability to like have psychic gifts and blah blah blah. Like that's just not going to be universal because not everyone, that's not for everyone. Of course, if you have that like tapped into yourself, bada bing bada boom, love that for you. But the truth of it is, I see all of these animals like connecting to the moon, and that to me is like instincts. Connect with your intuition, yes, but also just connect with like, how does your body feel? Connect to your body. Get into some water. With Scorpio season being eclipse season this, go around, it might be really important to just be like in stillness. And this is the fire that we're like coming to, we're nurturing, is just our spirit and the natural ability of our spirit to guide us to where we need to be. Now that of course means that we need to understand why we're wired the way that we are and kind of understand, all right, this is why I do certain things, without ruminating on, oh my God, all that shit made me do this and now I do that. Like, honey, that's not gonna heal you. Honey, that's not gonna help you. And that's certainly not gonna make you feel safer in your body. That's certainly not gonna make you feel more at ease. And let's be real. It's been a rough few years for like all of us. Maybe not for you, but a lot of us. And we deserve to feel safe in our body. And if there's one thing we should be able to tap into, it's just our ability to just be. That's like radical magic that people don't want to fucking talk about. And you know what? That's fucking fine. But I'm going to tell you right here, it doesn't have to be your psychic abilities. It can be your ability to just be okay. To just sit in a silent room for more than 5 minutes. That shit tough. That shit fucking tough. Like, for real. So don't get focused on like, oh, three of swords. So she said that we need to like let go of all this pain. Like, I get it's a process. And this is not to say under this full moon, you're just magically gonna be healed. No. The illumination is going to bring awareness around our habits, our ways of thinking, our ways of being. Our way of coming to peace with it is really being the hanged one and acknowledging shit has happened, shit might be fucked up, or might have been fucked up, but I am here now. And I am okay. Like, or maybe you're not okay, but I am here right now. What must I do in this moment? Not thinking about the future necessarily. Future is there. Past is there. We're right here. And the more we focus on that presence, that ability to be present, the more we will tap in to our innate magic, whatever that means. It does not have to be anything fancy or fantastical. Just existing comfortably is a fucking whimsical thing, right? Thank you, Aries season, for that little fucking bit of magic. That was good. I think this is a good pull. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Again, this is very generalized, so maybe you are going to like turn on the magic when it comes to your psychic gifts. That's awesome. Fucking power to you. But if it's just being okay, especially with not being okay, chef's kiss, you've done it. This is the moon to really sit and think about what you want and put some intention down because, honey, eclipse season is right around the corner. I'm back. I'm in my new space. I'll be going over some more videos about Scorpio, eclipse magic, all of that. But until then, let me know down below. What do you think? What are you feeling? How is this coming up for you? How is this showing up? Are you like, shut the fuck up, Lauren? All those things and more are valid. And of course, just a little shout out, my shop is stacked with more long sleeve stuff for the season. It is cold here in PA. It got cold here. So the long sleeves are back, the hoodies, the crew neck sweatshirts like this one, Hail Saturn, yes. Conscious Creator shirts are now in long sleeve as well. I've got an Art as Ritual shirt up in the thing as well. And I'm hoping later this month to put out some more designs just in time for the holidays. So if you're looking for some astrological fun stuff or some, you know, tarot clothing, I'm hoping to put that out soon. But with that said, oh, also my coloring book is coming out soon on my website, so be on the lookout for that. And let me know if you're interested in a Big Feelings calendar for next year. I'm thinking about doing just like a limited run of calendars with positive affirmations. So every month you're seeing something fun, something about the world that makes you feel good. But until then, until next time, I guess, like, comment, subscribe, share this video with someone you love, hate, and lust after. And I hope you have a grateful moon. Until next time, bye-bye.